and welcome to this edition of CruNation, coming to you from Gusano's at Chicago-style pizzeria at 7th Duquesne Joplin. Very fortunate to be joined today by three very talented players that helped the crew out a lot. We got athlete Tevin Gibson, quarterback Steve Hamilton, and defensive lineman Jason Stevens. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very fortunate, and then we always like to start every episode off with our player profiles. So, guys, what we would like to have you is just kind of give us a little bit about your football background and how you ended up being a part of the Crusaders. Tevin, let's start with you.
Well, I'm from Miami, Florida. I'm not from here. I'm not from Joplin, Missouri. I had a cousin that actually played football at Missouri Southern. He asked me to come up here and come play football. And so what I ended up doing was I actually left the college that I played for to actually come up here and play for Missouri Southern. Well, things didn't work out for me playing at Missouri Southern because me and Coach Tatum didn't get along. So, long story short, I actually ended up meeting Jason Stevens in Sam Sturgis, Cleveland. I mean, a lot of those guys, and they actually told me about the crew. I was playing for the four-state fusion. So when they told me about coming out playing for the Crusaders, I was like, man, I guess it'll be a good thing for me to come out and do. They've been trying to come get me to come play with these guys for the past, 3-4 years.
Well, we're very fortunate to have you. You're definitely a game changer. And Steve, let's start with you.
Like Tevin, I'm not from here either. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Came from a powerhouse high school, Union High School. From there, a little bit of Oklahoma. Finished up at Bacone College. Played arena. Had a couple trials to CFL. Played arena for like 4 years. And actually got brought up here. Danny Knighton had been up here, and I've played ball with Danny since I've been like 10 years old. I've known Danny forever. And he's like, man, we really need a quarterback, and we could really take this off. So I came up here, gave it a try, and 3 championships later, here we are.
Amen to that.
Jason, how about you?
I've been with the crew for 8 years now, actually, and went to Missouri Southern, tried to walk on there and didn't make the cut. A couple guys told me about the Crusaders, and I got a hold of Charlie Hudson, and that's where it started.
Oh, my goodness, good old Charlie. Good old Charlie. Well, guys, different geographical locations, different backgrounds. We're very fortunate to have you. I know we've said it with everybody that's been on the show already, that being a part of the Crusaders kind of gets in your blood and becomes part of that identity.
Yeah.
It almost becomes like a second family.
Yes.
So tell us, guys, what keeps you coming back year after year to the Crusaders?
Well, for me, especially, I've always been a winner. That's always been inside my nature. It's always been in my DNA. And my buddy Jason here, he told me about the culture. He told me about the people being a winning organization. And by this being a winning organization, that's all I ever wanted to do was just win. And the team I was playing for, they wasn't winning. And when he told me about winning, I was like, man, I guess I'm kind of siding with you here because this ain't really, my training ain't feeling too good. So I got to get over to where the winner's at because these guys are really, really wanting to win. They're not holding anything back. So for me, it's the culture of winning. It's not holding anything back. It's giving everything that we got every week, night in and night out. And that's the biggest thing for me about it. It's about winning. It's a family too. That's one of the biggest things. I've always missed it. I've always missed that void of a family. Father figure or brother figure. I've never really had that. So with this, I actually get that. I actually get that family output as far as the team.
Steve?
Pretty much same thing he's saying. It's just, like I said, family oriented. I don't know, like I said, I'm from Tulsa, and I come up here and they make me feel, like I'm from Missouri. It's an awesome feeling to have. The family orientation, in Oklahoma, we got a lot of teams, they fight drama all the time, and that's just something, it's not a part of football. We got to get away from that, and I can't be around that. So come up here, it's just football and family. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And every time I bring someone up here, Coach Pitts always tells me, he's like, tell them what we're about. We're about that family. And every time, I make sure they know, hey, look, you're going to have to earn your spot. It's just not going to be given to you. And, like I said, me and like 8-9 guys, we travel from Tulsa to come up here and play football and just to continue winning. Like I said, I love to win. I won all through high school, went through arena, college. Got to keep on going. So that's what I come for.
And Jason, you definitely got the longest amount of tenure amongst this group here.
Absolutely. And I'll keep it the same way across the board. It is a family. We're all brothers. We're all there for each other. My first 3 or 4 years, I didn't play a whole lot, but it was that feeling of being a part of something. You know, it might not be just winning football games, but every time you see somebody on the crew, they've got a smile on their face, and that's what it's all about.
Well, guys, definitely shows everybody's character definitely comes out in moments like that and games like last week, which we'll be taking a more of an in-depth look later on in the show with Coaches Pitts and Gabera. But, gentlemen, let me thank you all very much for being a part of CruNation this week. And good luck to you as you go on to the CFL championship game next week against the Arkansas Battle.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a break right now. Be sure to come back and join us right here at Gibson's.
CruNation is brought to you in part by Fletcher Ford of Joplin. Come see us and our expertise for all your new and used Ford needs. Gusano's Chicago-style pizzeria at 7th and Duquesne in Joplin. Doing it Chicago style. And Light 'em Up Video Productions, your home for custom sports video.
Let's roll it, fellas. That's all these boys want the crew about, all right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right? Keep your mouths. Let's roll this, all right?
Light 'em up, baby. Light 'em up.
This is our house, all right? Our house. Nobody coming our house, right? Protect ours. Let's do it.
Nah, baby.
Get him rolling. Get him rolling.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's Steve Hamilton, quarterback for Joplin Crusaders, number 9. Stay tuned, CruNation, baby.
Welcome back to CruNation here at Gusano's at 7th Duquesne in Joplin. Happy to be joined now by head coach David Pitts and offense coordinator Brendan Gabera. Coaches, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We missed you last week.
Chasing kids.
Life happens. Life happens. Other obligations. All right, well, let's get into it. The semifinal playoff game last week, Joplin Crusaders versus the River Valley Reckoning. Coaches, what are your general takeaways from the game from last week?
I thought offensively we played pretty well. I still think we've continued to improve the last several weeks on the offensive side of the football. 3 weeks in a row now we've rushed for over 200 yards as a team, thrown for over 200 yards, consistently every week. So we're getting a lot of balance, which is good to see. We had 7 different people catch a pass last night. Overall, 10 different guys touched football on the offensive side. So a very balanced night, which makes us very tough to defend.
Coach, definitely seeing some good things from the offense, and they're clicking at the right time. And like you said, being healthy, with everybody being healthy at the right time during the playoff push for the Crusaders is definitely helping. Now flipping to the other side of the ball, Coach Pitts, defense, another strong performance last week against the Reckoning, and coming off that shutout win the previous week, last night. Looking at a very strong running game from the River Valley Reckoning. What was your mentality and plan coming into last week?
They're leading rusher. He's a good back, and we were informed last night that he'll be going to the Canadian League next year. Our objective was to make him try to run laterally and not so much north and south. And I figured if we can get him to run laterally, then we could run him down. But when he squares his shoulders up, he's a very good running back.
Not only just his agility also contributes to that. I know at one point 2 of our defensive backs had him squared up. He busted through the front 7 of the Crusaders, and he just leaped over both of them.
We had guys going low on him because he's a 225-pound man, and he just hurdled us and kept going. And after that, it was kind of just hold on and bring him down. And that was the one time that he got loose on us. Other than that, I felt like we held him contained pretty well.
Very, very strong showing from the defense last week. It seemed like the Reckoning would get a little bit of something going, but the defense stiffened their necks and their backs and just shut them down at the crucial times. They weren't able to make those plays, whether it be from either the coverage or the pressure getting in the backfield and shutting the runner down. All in all, the entire defensive unit came together and didn't allow much of anything last week against the Reckoning.
We had 4 or 5 plays that I thought we had some mental lapses, and we allowed them to. I would say we allowed them. They took advantage of those lapses and had nice plays. Other than that, I thought we played pretty sound. And the first time we played the Reckoning, I felt like they took it to us. They out hit us. And last night, we definitely paid them back. I mean, I thought we were the more physical team, and as the game wore on, we wore them down.
And that definitely showed in the later stages of the game. It was like two rams coming together to butt heads. The crew came out ready to hit, so did the reckoning. Definitely showed, but like you said, with the exception of a few mental lapses, all in all, defense, another solid performance. And then all three phases, we'll add special teams into that. The kickoff coverage was pretty good. Had a few breakdowns here and then, but then we're able to add a few points on the board with Skylar Dooley adding a 31-yard field goal before the half. All in all, team's clicking. How you feeling moving into the championship game next week?
I feel good. I mean, we were playing visibly. I mean, you can see it better and better. I mean, as the weeks went on throughout the season, and old Charlie used to say, if you're going to get us, you better get us early because we get better as the season goes, and we're living true to that. It's we're playing well offensively, defensively. Special teams are playing great. We got to shore up a little bit of the kickoff team, but other than that, I think we're ready to go. We've seen these guys before, and we know what to expect, and our guys are pretty excited about it.
Yeah. And it's definitely, like you said, one of those things. It's always the trend. Is if you're going, like you said, if you're going to get them early in the season, because by this point in time, if the team gets this far into the season, it just doesn't seem like there's any stopping to them, especially when they come together. And that's a credit to you two gentlemen, definitely being able to bring the system and the knowledge and the wisdom that you have and being able to pass it on, because there's a stable of young players that are being contributing factors right now in this push to 8 championships for you.
Well, that's no kidding. We've got some young kids that we picked up early on in the season, and they're contributing a whole lot more than I think we thought they would early. Yeah. And they bought into our system, and they bought into our veterans. And I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the teaching them how to be a Crusader is the veterans.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. We don't have to do a whole lot with that. They take care of that. But these young kids came in, and they came in guns blazing.
Mm-hmm. They've brought new life too. It seems like they're fun to watch. They bring a spark. It reminds me of what was it, about 2005 when Scotty Thompson joined us. When Scotty was still a senior in high school, and
I still have my shirt. Just inside joke.
We gave Scotty a hard time about things he could do and things he couldn't do, and we made the T-shirts, and now we got several young kids, and it makes a difference. It makes it a lot of fun when you've got the younger presence out there who they're flying around having fun. They're just happy to be part of a winning program, and happy to be part of a program that cares about them as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely fun to watch right now, this point in the season of Crusader football. For all you statistician lovers out there, we'll go ahead and give them to you. 202 yards passing total with 2 touchdowns. First one in the first quarter going to Sam Sturgis early on the first drive for 14 yards from Steve Hamilton. Next one going to Danny Knighton for 12 yards from Steve Hamilton in the second. Of course, we talked about Skylar Dooley's 31-yard field goal. And then rushing, 266 total rushing yards from the whole group of running backs. Main rushing play was the 86-yard run by Skylar Dooley for another touchdown. Wrapping up this crew scoring, total yards, 468 total offense. Crusaders come away with a win, 25-8 against the River Valley Reckoning, heading to their 12th CFL championship game. And we'll take a look ahead to that right after this break. Come back with Sierra Gisanos.
Hey, light him up, baby! From the beginning. Hey, light him up, baby! Hey, what they say about Vandy, he ain't got nothing on us, baby. No! Job Crusaders. We'll be back after the break, baby. Light him up again, baby. Let's go. Hey.
Hello and welcome back to the CruNation show, coming to you from Gusano's Chicago-style pizzeria here at 7th Duquesne Joplin. I'm Austin Woodard, still joined by head coach Dave Pitts and offensive coordinator Brendan Gabera. Let's take a look at last week's offensive play of the game, brought to you by OK Bar and Billiards in Joplin. that was last week's offensive play of the game. 85-yard touchdown run by Skylar Dooley in the semifinals of the playoffs against the River Valley Reckoning. Now let's take a look at last week's defensive play of the game, brought to you by HC Warren Trucking in Neosho. That play definitely shut down their last real chance of scoring. Walter Coleman with a huge interception, definitely showing up. And we kind of let the gas run out, did some dancing in the end zone to avoid some tackles, but it got the Crusaders in good field position. It was a good play. So now playoffs are over. We're into the nitty-gritty. This is what Crusader football is all about. CFL championship game coming up this week against the Arkansas Battle. Coaches, last time the Crew played the Arkansas Battle was back on March 28th, came away with a 35-7 victory. What are we looking forward to from a defensive side, Coach? I know we got that big fullback of the Battle. That's definitely a load to bring down. What are you looking forward to out of Arkansas this week?
You know, I think playing the Reckoning, playing that number 6, Vanderbilt, I believe his name is, he's kind of prepared us for what we're going to face next week. Is they run kind of the same kind of style. One runs out of the spread, the other runs out of the eye. But when we played them last time, we were still trying to find an identity on both sides of the ball, actually. And are we going to be that physical defense? Are we going to be a little more speed oriented, or what we're going to be? And so, and I thought that when we played them, I thought that started turning us to what we were going to be. And we're so much more improved right now than we were at that state that I look for good things out of us. Mm-hmm. Look for very good things out of us.
And Coach, we know that their defense, they've got a pretty stout middle linebacker and a very quick defensive end. Offensive line, the way they're clicking, do you expect much out of those two to be much of a threat?
They're always threats, and then you got to think about, on their back end too, they've got the Campbell kid. I think Jason Campbell's his name, who is the CFL career leader in interceptions, according to what people say. And he's a ball hawk. He got us once last time we played him. So we got to do a better job of throwing away from him and identifying coverages. But, last time we played him, they were a 3 front. They played 3-4, a lot of cover 4 against us last time. Tried to take the home run ball away. A little bit of cover 2. And they're very big up front. Very big, very physical. They're going to be tough for us to move around. We're going to have to double team real well. Backs are going to have to run hard. But, I think we can spread them out like we did last time and find some angles and find some running lanes. And Steve keeps spinning the ball like he has been the last few weeks. I honestly think Steve's improved tremendously over the last 3 weeks. He's getting in his drops. He's staying on the balls with his feet. He's hitching up and stepping up into the line of scrimmage and throwing lasers when he needs to. He's reading the defense pretty well. And if he continues to improve coming forward again this week, we look for really good things on the offensive side of the ball, the way we can balance and spread it out.
And with the success of the team in the last few weeks and heading into such a big game, and the team being here so often, do you find it more difficult to keep the players focused on doing their jobs, or is it you just trust them to be able to come out and handle their responsibilities?
It seems to me, we haven't lost since Dallas.
Yes.
Was it 40-something games? It's unbelievable the streak that those guys have put on. And sometimes I think we start the games, and I'm preaching to them all the time about taking it to them. Let us dictate it all. But it seems like something has to happen in the game, whether it's offensive, defensive, that they've done something to us, and that seems to get us going instead of us just going out there and then just putting our will on them. And I think that's been a little bit of an issue, but so far they've seemed to fire themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
I think our guys realize their ultimate job is to go out there and play with great effort and execute. And ultimately, if we do that, they know their job is to win a football game. And our guys have really bought into, if you play with the effort and you execute the way you're asked to execute, that ultimately we will win the football game. And so I think it boils down to just a matter of coming out and doing our jobs. Coach Pitts will have the defense prepared. We'll do our best to have the offense prepared with a good game plan and a good warm-up, a little pre-coaching before the game, and we'll go out and see what happens.
Definitely looking to a fun, entertaining night next week at Jung Stadium, June 20th at 6:30 kickoff. Looking forward to a fun, physical, hard-hitting game. It's CFL Championship football. This is what the Crusaders are all about. It's what they push forward to. Gates open at 5 o'clock at Jung Field. And like I said, kickoff's at 6:30. We will be doing another $25,000 giveaway. So be out there to get your chance at a shot at $25,000. Going to thank our guys here at Line 'em Up Video Productions, Denton and Chris. Thank you so much. Sturgis Lawn Care, All Season Sports Bar and Grill in Neosho, OK Bar and Billiards, HC Warren Trucking in Neosho, and of course the great folks here at Gibson's. We'll see you next time here on CruNation.